Hello everybody, Dr. JJ with Pinnacle Chiropractic, serving families in Bradenton and Sarasota area. Today I'm going to read a little bit and talk a lot of it about chronic ear infections and natural remedies for them. They do exist, folks. So I'm going to read a little snippet from an intake that we had with a mom that was struggling with her child with chronic ear infections. And she wrote, "We have been on antibiotic after antibiotic for multiple ear infections, and now we've been referred to an ENT to put tubes in and also to have tonsil and adenoid removal, which makes us feel uncomfortable as parents. I know that there has to be something else to try before we do the surgery route." Now, when I first met Audrey, who is Rory's mom, Aurora's mom, her only options from her doctor were medications or surgery. She was not on board with either of those, and she was determined to find a natural remedy for ear infections that would be effective and hopefully hold off surgery, as well as to get to the bottom of Rory's ear infections. She hoped that this would stop this endless cycle of pain, sleepless nights, add more antibiotics, which she knew was causing havoc on little Rory's gut and her immune system long-term wise. And because of that, Audrey reached out to our office. And here was the good news. We were able to share with Audrey that, and the parents that are watching this video now, that there are natural remedies for ear infections, and they do exist, as I said earlier. These natural remedies have been around for a very long time, and they help provide pain relief, reduce inflammation, promote drainage, which is huge for ear infections, and work to not just help a child get past their acute ear infection, but prevent them altogether in the future as well. In order to best understand the role that natural remedies in the ear infections play, we first have to understand the root causes of ear infections in the first place. So all this starts with what we'll call the plumbing or the drainage of the inner ear. And then the signaling and the communication from the central nervous system out from the brainstem to the body's immune system. The number one issue that really causes ear infections in the first place is buildup of fluid within the ear canal. The entire ENT, respiratory, and lymphatic system work just like plumbing in your house, and it's all linked together within this area and throughout the whole body, really. So not only do the nerves and the muscles of the inner ear need to be working well and moving fluid along, but it's got to keep it moving through the neck and the lymphatic system and throughout the whole body. It's simple. If the body cannot expel viruses and bacteria, it becomes chronically congested with them. And that leads to ongoing inflammation and recurrent and chronic ear infections and other illnesses on top of that. Therefore, any natural ear infection remedy must first address poor drainage. I'll say that again. Any natural remedy must address poor drainage, because that's the first thing you need to address to get things moving along. Just like a clogged drain in your home can cause buildup, junk, crud, it's really the same thing for your child and their inner ear as well. Unfortunately, the natural remedies you'll learn about in this video are not the kind of information that you'll be told by your standard pediatrician or an ENT typically. While many years ago the AAP and the CDC did finally approve of what is known as a watch and wait approach guideline for ear infections, reviewing the two-page document on the CDC's website is equal parts encouraging and discouraging. So since they do at least recommend 2 to 3 days of watch and wait before antibiotics, but also it is discouraging since the only thing that they recommend for treatment without antibiotics is ibuprofen, which ibuprofen, acetaminophen, fluids, and rest. That's what they recommend. But just like every single medication out there, ibuprofen, acetaminophen come with their own lengthy list of risks themselves, as well as weakening the immune system over time. But what's really exciting about all this for parents is these natural remedies I'm about to share have been around for years, have helped countless kids, and helped end this cycle of ear infections, antibiotics, and ear tube surgeries. So while the short list of natural remedies can include warm or cold compresses on the ear, rest, vitamin D, some distraction on the ears, salt water, hydrogen peroxide within the ear with colloidal silver, ginger and garlic, naturopathic ear drops, and also changing sleep positions. Most parents have tried all these, and while they may help for a moment, if the ear infection continues to persist, we want to look deeper at what can be done to address the cause. So I want to dig into the neurologically focused chiropractic care and how it can be a key for not only drainage, but signaling and communication for the entire immune system. So finding the root cause begins with a deeper dive into your child's case history. And here's what we continually find in children that are struggling with chronic ear infections. Usually there's birth interventions and trauma such as forceps, vacuum extraction, induction, and C-section delivery. All those require lots of force on the head. Whether it may seem gentle, usually it's upwards of 50 pounds of pressure on the head when using manual assistance for that, whether it's C-section or vaginal birth as well too. Health challenges as an infant such as colic, reflux, and constipation. That's another indicator typically for chronic ear infections, as well as early exposure to antibiotics and steroid-based medications where they have almost a tolerance or an intolerance, and they use antibiotics or steroids so much that they become ineffective. As well as a big one we see is high sugar diet, processed foods, dairy, gluten, etc. Food dyes, you name it, they can all add to that chronic ear infection propensity. So each of these early stressors increases tension and stress on your nervous system, leaving it stuck in a more sympathetic fight or flight response. This sustained sympathetic response and subluxation then increases the tone and the tension of all the soft tissue muscles in the upper neck, including the tensor valley palatini muscle, which when it gets too tight and wound up, it limits proper drainage within that eustachian tube in your ear. Additionally, sustained sympathetic tone creates what's called dysautonomia, which leaves the body in a more inflammatory state, and it weakens the whole body's immune system response. And this leaves the ears and the immune system facing two major problems. It's unable to drain fluid properly from the ears and in a pro-inflammatory or weakened immune state. But the good news is guess what? Chiropractic adjustments help with both. And so neurologically focused chiropractic has been shown to have an incredible impact, not only on the prevention of ear infections, but helping kids get better when ear infections are at their worst. In retrospective studies, about 93% of kids with acute ear infections improve after chiropractic care. When Audrey, who is Aurora's mom again, first found neurologically focused chiropractic care, she truthfully wasn't exactly sure how long it would take or exactly her care plan, what it would be focused on. But after our initial consultation and hearing our 5-step clinical process, she knew that she was in the right place. After deep diving into Aurora's history, we found that she did have a difficult birth and delivery. She snored when she slept, and she had a very weak immune system right from the get-go at a young age. Next, Rory's insight scans showed that she had extra tension in that upper cervical spine, the neck. And in that region, the muscles that help with drainage from the sinuses into the neck and the lymph nodes, this was holding fluid where it shouldn't be, essentially. So there was a lot of tension up here causing fluid backup and improper drainage. When we guided Audrey through Rory's insight scans at the reported finding, it was really eye-opening for her, and she could see the exact area and where the struggle was coming from. And really, Rory's scan showed tightness and tension was holding back all that drainage in the ears. It was simply getting stuck in her ear canal. And in Rory's progress scan, we saw that the tension was drastically reduced, going right along with mom reporting that she was no longer having congested, clogged, or filled with fluid in her ears, nose, and throat. So all those systems improved drastically under chiropractic care, giving mom the full confidence that her body was draining. making clogged ears and sinuses a big thing of the past. And that has been from her transition report, where just like anyone that goes to the gym, there's certain things that need to be done to maintain progress, which is wellness care. And no, we don't want to see you every day of the rest of your life, but just like with anything, there is some type of maintenance that needs to be done. And I thought it was interesting too what Rory's mom said after her first adjustment. And she said after Rory's first adjustment, she fell asleep in the car. She has never been a car napper, not even as a baby. Then she took 3 more naps that first week. This is showing, by the way, that there's more balance within the post-adjustment within that fight or flight or that parasympathetic rest and restore. She was definitely resting and restoring, which is a good thing for the immune system. And she went on to continue to say it has been probably 2 years since she has ever taken consistent naps. After about 2 weeks of adjustments, she started sleeping through the night. When she gets sick, the symptoms are less severe and shorter lived, and no more ear infections. She is slowly starting to get her true personality and shine that out to the world, our house, and to others. They're finally able to see the very best in our little girl. So yes, neurologically focused chiropractic care may not be on every Google search or DuckDuckGo or whatever you use, but still, it has proven and very effective. It's been proven and is very effective in helping children get past this cycle of chronic ear infections. And if hearing Rory's story has helped or struck something within you about wanting to know more about neurologically focused pediatric chiropractic, and you think subluxation may be playing a role in your child's chronic ear infections, this is the place for you. We would love to help you. We'd love to help you get over that constant cycle of pain, sleepless nights, add more antibiotics, destroy the gut biome, and do it all again. So if this rings true for you, please come our way. We'd love to help figure out exactly what's going on with the nervous system and get you guys some results. So peace and love, and I hope that you learned a little bit of something today. And if this resonates with you or you know someone else struggling with chronic ear infections, this is your sign to go ahead and give them a call. Go ahead and you can leave a comment, DM, you name it. We'll get back to you. Peace and love.